Hey, bro. So, look, you know what? I thought I might just start filming and sharing what I have to say with trading. You know, I thought, what the hell? What's the worst that could happen? It's my first video, so look, I'm not expecting the great stuff. I don't have like the ultimate mic. I know my lighting sucks and the camera's not great, but you know what? I just thought, let's just give it a crack and we'll see how it is. So yeah, for the first video on the channel, for me, I was thinking we were just doing a breakout strategy that I've been loving. So we'll do that. So my name's Sam. I've been in the trading space for about 4 years. I'm 22 years old, living in Australia. Just a bit of background of me. I like to do a bit of surfing and all that good stuff. But I really do love trading. I really enjoy trading. I find it really satisfying, especially when you can analyze something and actually have it go your way. It's for me, it's a great feeling. So yeah, guys, I just thought let's just crack in. So I'm not too sure you guys are aware of sessions. Certain times of the day where it's better to trade at this time of the day. It's better to trade at this time. So for me, I have found that London session is hands down the best time to trade. Now, I've on my chart here, it's like 0300. It's not 0300 in Australia. I'm not trading at that time. I'm not that crazy. So like this is New York time. 0300 New York time is when London session starts. And I usually go to 12 o'clock New York time. That is when the New York session starts. And for me, that is when I get out. Actually, no. That's when London session ends. New York, I think, opens a bit an hour earlier. But regardless, I'm only trading London session. So when London session hits, just when I want to start trading, this is all I'm looking for. So I usually get on 15 minutes prior my session. And all I'm simply doing, I'm looking for on the mark. I'm just looking to see if on the chart do we have a zone that price has respected or a level price has respected more than once. See, I can see on my screen here that we have that. We've got one on the bottom here. We can see down here that this has been respected 3 times, right? We can draw this out even. We got 1 touch here, 2, 3. Okay, so what I would want to see here is price to potentially go down and close below this line. That's all I'd be looking for. Then I'd go on to the 1 minute and look for a possibility to get in for a short. So, however, I don't know what price is going to do. Sometimes you have to go a bit risky with entries, but it's there. Anyway, so look, we also have one up here. So let's chart that out because we got one here that price has respected that. Definitely has. So we're actually in a bit of a range here. And I've been doing this multiple times. So 1, 2, that's all you need. We need at least just 2 touches. Great. So from here, I just want to see price either close above here or price close below here. And for me to trade within this time period, so 0300 New York time to 12 o'clock New York time, this window here is a London session. That is the only time I'm looking for a trade. If it wanders out of this window, I'm not interested in trading anymore. Okay, pretty simple. So let's get cracking on this. So we're on the 5-minute chart. Tap on here. And all we're looking for is just a break. Damn, okay. Cool, that's pretty big. So what I like to do now is go on the 1 minute. And all we're simply doing really is looking for a nice reaction. Like that. That is a bullish candle. I might see, that was where I would have liked to enter, but because, you know, I was a bit late to the party, I'd be entering off here. Oh, I think don't know what's happening. I think my thing's lagging a little bit. No. Oh, real sweet. Alright, so I'd put my stop loss here because I don't want to be too aggressive with it. 0.8 is... I'll tell you why I always go for 0.8 risk-reward ratio, because for me, I want to confirm that we're actually going to get some money in a trade. So there's been countless times where I've done a trade and it just goes against me. So 0.8 is when I actually take out my first position. So how I trade, I put in 2 positions. I will put in, first position is like my big sum, which is like, would be 1% of the account. Then I put my second position in, which is going to be 0.5% of the whatever account equity you're trading with. So once I've hit my second position, which is 0.5 of the account, once it hits 0.8, that is when I pull out that position. So that way we've guaranteed that we've made money. And that is also when I would break even. So I would go ahead and make sure that we break even. So that way there is no money we can lose. There's no way we can lose money. Okay. So for this, 1 minute, cool. We're in the chart. So let's see what happens. It's looking pretty good at the moment. Cool. Perfect. So from what I would do here real time, all you have to do is that, break even. And I want to look at the bigger chart, whether it's a 5 minute, 15 minute, you want to zoom out and you want to see the potential on where price could travel to, because that will really determine your take profit level. So I'm going to zoom out to the 15 minute. So I want to see, like, where can price go? Okay, so we can see that price can come to this zone here. So we can aim for that. We have a fair value gap here. Maybe we can target that. We have liquidity here too. So this would be my levels of interest to potentially hit. Which is a lot. That is a lot. So if I'm going to keep this on the 5 minute, so if we've done that, yeah, that's on the 15 minute. So if we come back here now, where our normal trade is, and we know that these levels from up here on the longer chart, like far out, we could see a big trade. See, 0.8. Let's just say I've taken out my second position, which is the 0.5%. So now we've only got 1% of our equity in our account. Let's just say it's $1,000, right? So if I'm going to go up here and target, let's just target that liquidity level, okay? Because I feel like that is pretty crazy to, if you can actually, for me, if I can actually see that I'm actually going to hit that liquidity level, where is it? Let's zoom back out in the 15 minute. So if we can actually hit that liquidity level, that's crazy, So let's just see what happens if we can actually hit that level, because that will be pretty insane. Remember, we've got our break-even line here. That was close. That was very close. Hey, there you go. So that's pretty insane, we're capturing a 1 to 4 pretty much. That's pretty insane. So yeah, there you go. And that's how I would manage my chart, Usually I break even once we hit 0.8, which is like what I did. Then you look for potential levels of profit, potential profit levels. We listed them out. My rule, always go for a 1 to 2. Alright? So whatever you risk, do it by 2. So 1 to 2, for example. That would be here. That would be my absolute minimum when I'm looking for a trade. But because we had a nice level, wonderful. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to try to find another example. And, you know, I know this might be a bit boring, but there's not going to be much editing in this video, not going to be much cropping. It's just pure blank trading, you know. And this is the other great thing too. Like, I've just got a blank chart, you know, so I'm not really one of those people that likes to trade with a whole bunch of indicators. I'm more someone that's just pure price action. Give me a naked chart and I can analyze it, you know. Do my analysis and I'll go off what I need to do. Alright, so let's go to the next day. Let's just wait for price to get into our session. Whoa. I think that's going to be quick. Alright, cool. 5-minute chart starting out. So let's just say 15 minutes prior we are onto the chart, and again all we're looking for is price respecting. Automatically, look at that. We can see right here that price is respecting this zone. So we can plot this out right here. We've got numerous touches on this zone. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is nice to see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice. That's lovely to see. So let's just have a look and see if we can spot anything else. You want to do all your analysis, right? You want to see where price could go. So I know price could come up here because we have a fair value gap. Fair value gap, imbalance, whatever you want to call it, you know. So price could come back up here. It's possible. But from that previous position here, we've left some huge fair value gaps too. So price could come back into here and back down into here. Like all this zone here, price could come back because it's just fair value gaps. And look, in terms of liquidity, sure, we've got some liquidity here. We've got liquidity here. I'd call that a liquidity zone now because we've just gone up from a random point. I mean, we did have, hang on, I have spotted, let's just move this because it's putting me off a bit. So from here, we actually have another zone that's been respected. It actually has been respected. 1 to 2 touches, cool. Let's draw them out, 1 touch and 2 touch. So from here, I want to see where, again, we got pretty much the same setup, which is pretty crazy. So let's have a look. I want to go ahead and see if price is either going to go to the upside or we're going to go to the downside. So let's see what happens. Has to go one way. That's another touch on that line. And I want to see it close past the line, you know. Like if I was to go on the 1 minute, I know for sure that was going to just cancel out. Usually on a ranging market like this, there's going to be a fat breakout. So let's just hopefully we can catch it. One, two. Alright, so we've got a breakout there. However, what I would be looking for is a bullish candle. I haven't seen a bullish candle just yet. Look, say what you want, but it is a candle that has gone above the previous candle in terms that is bullish. You know, I'd say the price action, by the start of it, it looks like price action is gone with our side here from that. You know, I'm going to go long. Why not? So I'd be going off here. I'm going to put my stop below that sort of imbalance here, just in case if it actually does come back down to here. It could, but again, you have to be a bit aggressive sometimes. So 0.8, 0.9, 0.8, whatever. There we go. So let's see how this performs. I'm pretty skeptical to see how this plays out. Boom. So that was a loss. Fine. Here's what it is. So, look, the session's not over. It's still pretty valid. Maybe you can move this up a bit more because it's had multiple touches. Okay. You still got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, you know. Still down here is valid, but yes, that would have been a loss. See if we can get again. 1 minute chart we go. So a bullish reaction. So I can see that we have a little gap here that I'd like to see get tapped into. So let's go ahead and see if price is actually going to give us a bullish candle. Nah. Cool. All right, that's a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. So let's go for a long. And we can put ahead our stop loss. It's going to be below there. And this point here, we'll target 0.8 just as our rule. Where can we possibly target? Well, we got that fair value gap from earlier. Imbalance, you know. So let's see what happens. Well, it's another loss. It's what it is. So that was not a good day. You know, carrying 2 losses like that is what it is. It is unfortunate. You will have those trades where price just taps your stop loss and it goes to the upside. It's going to happen. Maybe if I had my stop loss a bit lower, maybe below the swing. See, I've also realized as well, it's so important, even for me, it's so important to actually pick a good stop loss. Like for here, for example, below this order block would have been perfect. I just did below the fair value gap. It's a bit more aggressive. Anyway, it did come back down to that fair value gap and still swiped me out. And if we did get that 0.8, we would have, you know, got a break-even trade, but it is what it is. You're not going to win them all. Look, personally, this can be a crazy strategy, but it can be ass. I don't know, but for me, it's a strategy I like to use. You know, I'd like to use... I might just wrap it up here because the session's almost over and I don't want this video being too long. It's not going to get edited or anything because I don't see the point, especially it's my first video. But look, guys, I do enjoy this. You know, I really enjoy trading, and I think, you know, if I can help you guys out with a bit more knowledge and info, like I do know a lot of stuff when like just a strategy, even future videos I could make with regarding different strategies. If you just want to know what, you know, some smart money concepts, some order blocks, how to trade them, fair value gaps, you know, all that good stuff on liquidity and where price is potentially going to go next. I'm happy to do some more future videos and help you guys out. But yeah, look, I'd really appreciate the support. You know, really just starting out, so the support you guys give me here will really, you know, do a lot for me. Anyway, well, I might end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.